Paul, just over a week now since the last game, back in training tonight. What's the mood been like since you've been back?
Since we've been back, we had a little break really, because we knew we weren't in on Saturday, and I think that was quite nice, to be honest. Obviously, there's a lot of confusion for those teams who were due to play whether they would because of the weather. We were in the fortunate position where Bracknell were in the trophy, and we knew we wouldn't have a game. There was no other game that we could rearrange, and that gave us an opportunity to have a little break. Normally, I don't think at this time of year you get that as a player, as a manager at this level of football. So it was a good opportunity to do something different, get away from it. Obviously disappointing to have that defeat leading into that break, which you kind of dwell on for a little bit longer. You want the next game to come quickly, but it's good to have a break, to reflect, to see how things have gone, and prepare to come back in fresh. And the boys have come back in. Really good session tonight. Look, we've looked hungry, we've looked sharp. It's basically all ball work tonight, all games. We've got real quality here. We can see that, and it's about trying to remind the boys that heading into next weekend now.
Yeah, and starting with next Monday, first game back, and the last game of this year as well. How do you reflect on the season so far?
Well, there's a lot to reflect on, I guess. When you go back to the summer, and we thought we were going to be in a league below, we've obviously prepared for that, and then we've got the reprieve. Obviously, then your pre-season, we've got a big squad. It's the start of a new project. We're still feeling our way through that. Obviously, the FA Cup run was a particular highlight, and we've had a couple of good runs in the league now. So after that, maybe slightly sluggish start, where you're desperate to get our win. I think we found our feet a little bit now, and we know where we're going to be. Obviously, real high point's got to be the FA Cup run, but I think there's potential in this squad to improve our consistency in the league. We're not too far away, but a little bit of improvement, and we can really do something special. Ultimately, we were relegated last season, and after this, I won't talk on that anymore. But I think it's important at this point. You've asked me to reflect, to remember how quickly we've moved to kind of mid-table back in this league, and yes, I'm glad expectation is raised, and my expectation is that we get where we want to go as quick as we can. But that doesn't always happen overnight, and yes, we all want it to happen overnight, but it takes a little bit of time. And let's look forward. Let's be really positive. But for now, coming towards the end of the year, let's reflect on what we've done well. We've become really competitive in every single game, and at this level. And now we're looking to be a little bit more consistent into the new year.
Next week obviously marks the return of you and Smudge back to Lords Road, the club you had many successes as last year. What's the feeling like going to next week?
I'm looking forward to it. It's the next game, isn't it? Especially when we lost that game to Gosport. Straight away, you want the next game to come. We knew it was going to be that one. We want to go and win, but Yate's a good football club, a very friendly football club. Lots of good people in the background that I really, really have a lot of time for. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. And obviously, on the pitch, on the day, we'll want to win. They'll want to win, and that gets taken out. But there's a couple of people I'll buy a pint for after the game, and we'll go there with a really good following, and looking forward to what the supporters have planned, and them turning out in their numbers as they did when we were on the other side of that last season. I'm really looking forward to having that back in, that we're going to take away, and hopefully we can perform and get 3 points to push us further up the table.
And as you mentioned, back on the road, we're beaten in the last 6 on the road in the league. That must give you and the squad a lot of confidence going forward as well.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes results can gloss over things, and we can get hung up on the losses, and we can believe too much in our hype in the wins. A couple of those wins and points were fortunate, and a couple of our defeats, in my opinion, have been unfortunate at home. So we are in good form away. Something about it. Smudge and I had a similar record at Yate last season, and we've got to try and continue to work to develop our home form. I think it's a different type of game at home on a faster pitch where we're a bit more expansive, we're in possession a little bit more, which means you're a little bit more stretched when you give the ball away. And that's something we've got to improve on moving forward into the new year. And I'm really confident that we can do that. And we'll talk about things Thursday and moving forward over the coming weeks to continue to improve that. And I think if we get that right, we ain't far away, because some of our attacking play has been exceptional in the last couple of weeks. So let's keep that going, and let's work on a couple of the things that we need to work on, and let's see if we can keep that away form going. and develop that home form into 2023. If we can do that, we'll be some team. So it's not going to happen overnight, but you know, if we can keep that away form going and improve at home, well, yeah, we'll be on a hell of a run.
And finally, you mentioned the fans earlier. A big following expected on Monday as well. What's your message to the fans who are travelling to the Yate on Monday?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for getting behind us and spending your Boxing Day travelling and supporting us. I think I might sound like a broken record, but from the start, we've been made to feel so supported, so welcome, so pushed in the FA Cup run, in the league games, even the other day when it came back to 2-2 and, you know, you could see the supporters get behind us. And it nearly got us over the line. Ultimately, that game, we've made changes. If Norm goes in and scores, maybe it papers over the cracks. When they go up the other end and then score, you look at things a little bit more. So maybe in the long run, that will force us to develop that a little bit quicker. But yeah, we're certainly, I'm loving that the expectations have gone up from the supporters. Massively thankful for the backing that they give us week in, week out, and really looking forward to seeing them all and seeing if we can have another moment on Boxing Day together where we win together and celebrate together.
Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, Macca.